Highly capable professionals are often surprisingly ineffective at managing their own internal states. They apply immense personal discipline to their work, yet frequently find themselves operating from a state of constant, humming exhaustion. This exhaustion is rarely a lack of willpower. It stems from a specific internal story, the assumption that output must precede recovery. This model treats rest as a moral reward, something to be accessed only after the day's work is definitively finished. This sequence illustrates why the model feels responsible. By stacking output nodes and deferring the rest node, the professional believes they are maximizing their efficiency. Eventually, the timeline reaches a breaking point. Without recovery, the cognitive machine vibrates and splinters under the load. To maintain the system, recovery must be viewed as a technical requirement, an engineered input that facilitates tomorrow's focus and judgment. This requires moving away from virtue-based thinking and looking at your routine as a mechanical system. In this framework, stillness is a functional component of high-level performance. Relying on the output-first model eventually compromises the exact executive function needed to sustain your work. When you look at the consequences of deferring rest, the failure is rarely instantaneous. Think of baseline focus as a solid block. Deferring recovery causes slow erosion, removing small slices one by one. First, irritability increases. Over time, sustained attention gives way to shallow, fragmented focus. Eventually, you need heavy external stimulation to reach previous baseline performance. Most ambitious people misinterpret these signals. They assume they need more discipline or harder effort, so they skip breaks and reduce sleep, pushing through exhaustion, which only accelerates the daily biological erosion. This degradation is a consistent outcome of deferred recovery, regardless of a person's intelligence. The loss of focus is a predictable, measurable result of starving a system of its required maintenance. Human performance is governed by a simple constraint. The nervous system and attention are finite resources. The biology of human energy is transactional. It follows a specific mechanical logic. During recovery, specific processes run: memory consolidation, emotional processing, and metabolic repair. Provide the necessary recovery time and these execute, yielding next-day focus. When the recovery input is removed, these repair processes simply stop. If you experience a poor return, it's not a sign of laziness. Skipping the biological input results in an output deficit, no matter your willpower. These transactions are predictable mechanisms that can be factored into how you work. Treating a hard biological limit as a mere psychological hurdle generally leads to a complete system-wide failure. When these systems start to fail, professionals often try to solve the problem with episodic interventions. They push themselves to the absolute limit during the week and rely on weekend catch-up sleep to recover. This chart shows the erratic catch-up method. Extra sleep helps, but cannot replace consistent daily rhythm. Many view naps as character failure. Guilt-driven resting prevents nervous system repair. A better approach is designing recovery as operational infrastructure. This infrastructure includes a protected sleep window, clear markers that end the workday, and a planned midday downshift. In this context, stillness is a recharge mechanism for your cognitive resources. Individual needs vary, but the objective remains the same: placing recovery at consistent intervals within the system. Moving from panic-driven rest to a structured, rhythmic infrastructure is the most reliable way to stabilize your focus. We can translate this theory into a specific, practical step. Look at your calendar. Start treating recovery as a fixed, non-negotiable event rather than a fluid concept. Choose one recovery block for the upcoming week. It should be 20 to 30 minutes or a full lunch break, entirely away from screens. Schedule this block at roughly the same time each day to help establish a biological rhythm. When the alarm sounds, treat this block with the same level of seriousness you would give a call with an important client. As you step away, you will likely need to consciously set aside any internal narrative about guilt. The metric to watch is the quality of your focus the following day. Pay attention to that data rather than subjective moods. Treating this mechanism as optional eventually compromises the entire machine. It seems counterintuitive to a high achiever, but deliberate disengagement is the input that allows the system to continue working. If you take one thing from this, schedule one recovery block this week like a fixed meeting. Same rough time, non-negotiable when the alarm goes. Take it without a guilt story. Watch what happens to your focus the next day.